Well, hello there, folks. Welcome to another Train Sim Classic video. Today we're going to be taking a look at something pretty neat from Machine Rail. Now, this has actually been re-released, and it is their open-side Autoracks, which are bi- and tri-level. Now, these are the old-school Autoracks when they kind of moved away finally from boxcars and flat cars in the 40s into the 60s and 70s, so on and so forth. Anyway, these are 10 bucks on their website. I will link them down below. Now, I note they are the second release because they actually released these last week. I was unable to take a look at them initially. I was out of town for about a week, but I just got back and just got a hold of these and saw that they were re-released. Reason being, they were fairly high poly, high level of detail, just a little bit too high for the average machine, and they were just causing poor performance, in layman's terms, basically. So I've got them now. I've got them all spread out. We're going to go in and take a look at them. Alrighty, so we are loaded in, and these are the Autoracks, and there is an absolute plethora of Autoracks and railroads to choose from. So these are some of the older open-sided and open-top bi-level and tri-level. So Autoracks are still kind of young in terms of railroading, not really being around and being covered, so to speak, until I want to say the 80s maybe, or late 70s. There started being variations where they started putting panels on the sides, yada yada. But anyway, these are some of the older ones. Now, they used to shove these things being cars, automobiles, in box cars, and then they were on the back of flat cars. They would put them on a truck, like an auto carrier truck, like tractor trailer, and then they would put the trailers from the tractor trailer on a flat car. And then eventually we got these here. So you're going to get a number of variations within unloaded, half loaded, loaded, and some of them are fully loaded. Now, you're going to want to note those are some of the higher poly and higher detail ones. Now, I've got a fairly decent machine spec-wise, and with all this stuff laid out here, which is also, this is a fairly intensive map, I'd like to point out, this is the incredible Bergen line by Minerman, which you can get for free off the Steam Workshop. I'll go ahead and link that down below if you don't know anything about this either. You can do all kinds of stuff on the Bergen line. Absolutely epic freeware map. So this is the Mawa Yard, and it is a Ford plant, so it's only perfect to use these things. Not only that, but the Erie Lackawanna, being that this was their area, ran this plant for a very long time as well before its closure, although sadly this plant and yard is no longer in operation, and there's nothing here. I think it's just grass and weeds. But Erie did run this plant, so I've got everything laid out here so it fits and works perfectly. Not only that, but we've got a number of locomotives to choose from that are Erie Lackawanna from Diesel Workshop, and so on and so forth. Repaints, whatever the hell you want to use. Penn Central, you name it. Go for it. Anyway, so you're going to get a ton of variations. You're going to get variations between about the 1950s, very, very late 1950s. I'd almost say more like the early 60s, and the 1990s. The racks themselves have autodynamic numbers and custom sounds as well as physics. So one of the things you're going to need to do if you purchase this pack, which again is $10 US, is you're going to need to download the car pack. So this is a totally separate, free, absolutely free. They've got it linked on their website. Car pack, which goes within the editor. It's sort of part of like editor tools, if you want to think of it like that. And they're pretty easy to place down. I've placed a number of them down here. A quaint selection. There are a ton of them. God, there's got to be like 70 probably, with all the different colors and models. And so these, of course, are used on the Autoracks themselves, and then you actually purchase the Autoracks, and then of course everything that goes into the Autoracks, the model themselves, the sounds, the physics, all that. So you need to download that American Road Vehicles Volume 1 pack separate. It'll have it at the top of the page if you go to purchase this pack. So you're going to need that if you want the vehicles within this. So I think there's actually 45 vehicles total with 4 types of a load for 10 different railroads. We, of course, have Frisco PC, ELCN, Rock, Santa Fe, Norfolk and Western, CP, UP, and NP. Of course, we'll go over all those in detail in just a moment. But, yeah, so this is the second release. And back to system specs. I've got fairly nominal system specs, and I'm doing all right here. Now, this is a fairly intensive map as is, and I'm getting an average rock solid 30 to 35 FPS. You can't see it, but I've got it on my Steam overlay, so I can see it in the top left-hand corner. But I've got everything laid out here as well. So, also note, like I mentioned a moment ago, if you use the absolutely fully loaded racks, which we'll look at momentarily, those are going to have the most performance, we'll say degradation from everything, that you'll have plopped down on here. But anyway, the first fleet of these things in real life was actually ordered by the Frisco, and it was their Frisco 3000 series, and that's kind of what began the whole fleet of railroading and their Autoracks within. Now, they used to use spacer cars because they were open, as you can see here. And so a lot of times you would get smoke, ash, soot, all kinds of crap all over these vehicles. And they would be damaged. You'd have rock chips, eventually later in the decades, vandalization, theft, all kinds of stuff because they were open. They were easily accessible. So they went with spacer cars for some railroads just to push them back, kind of like they do with hazardous chemicals nowadays. Say tankers, they'll put like a gondola in between locomotives and tankers for crew safety, namely. Just think of it sort of like that. But these are very, very nice looking. Jeez, just sitting here admiring these things as is. But yeah, they eventually became covered or fully enclosed, obviously due to damage, vandalism, theft. And they would often ship hubcaps. So some of the older cars that had hubcaps, they would take them off and throw them in the trunks of the locked car so people wouldn't steal the actual hubcaps off the vehicles, which was fairly interesting. So, again, this is on the Bergen line, the Mawa yard at the Ford plant. I've got pretty much everything laid out here. The only thing that I don't have laid out for everything is the empty racks. So we're going to take a look at the empty racks first for the EL. And gosh darn, these models look very, very damn good. Just super clean in the sense of the model itself, not the texturing and the weathering. The weathering and the texturing is very on point. It's there. It's not over the top. They're not too clean. They do look very, very spicy. We'll go down and take a look at the trucks and axles. Those look very nice as well. Weathered, got a bit of kind of 3D effect there, which makes them pop a bit more. The axles look very nice. I'm often kind of persnickety with axles in train sim, and some devs, there's one or two where the axles just look like very cartoonish. These do not. They look pretty good. The actual bit that touches the rail could use a little bit of shine, but overall these look pretty darn good. So they've got the trailer train, which of course I'm sure a lot of you know. The trailer train eventually became the TTX reporting mark that we know today. So this is kind of where they got their start, or their fame, or probably made a ton of money, when vehicles and auto manufacturers started shipping these via rail a lot more. So the Erie logo does look really damn good. Of course, we'll go up to the top. These are the empty ones here, I think. Are they the empties? Yeah, so these are the tri-levels. See the wooden planking up top. Got oil and just marks and stuff all over the place. Of course, you would hope these brand new cars being shipped from the factory wouldn't be leaking oil, so to speak. But they're nice and dirty. They do look good. So over here, we have got, these are the half loads, I believe. So they don't have vehicles on top. This is still EL, by the way, Erie Lackawanna. So these are the halves, because you won't have them on top, and you'll be missing some spots here and there. And then let's go a couple behind. I thought I put some full loads down. I swear I did. Oh, that's right. The train service I've set up back here has them. Durr. Yeah, let's run down here and look. So these are the fully loaded. These are the loaded and fully loaded. So what that is loaded. There's going to be cars on all three tiers And then fully loaded, there's just as many cars as they could shove on here as possible. So, geez, that is that's a lot of freaking cars on one rack, and the models look incredible. I'm not gonna know every single model. This looks like an Oldsmobile. I would say maybe like a Bonneville, but hot damn, these models look good, man. Even the tires, these look better than some. You know, those of you that are into motorsport or car games, racing, anything like that. These are pretty freaking close. These look really good. Even the wheel details. See the lug nuts on there? Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Bunch of different colors as well. The one thing that I wish would be implemented, I don't know if it's possible. It might be a lot of work. It might already be in the pack, and I could be completely missing it, is the variation between the car colors when you place it down. So if you place like a half loaded or full loaded or fully loaded, they all seem to be the same color. I think, as far as I can tell, so it'd be nice if there was some kind of randomization at play as far as the color of the cars, just so it would be, be a bit more varied instead of having, one yellow, one red, one blue, one red, one yellow, and then over and over and over, repetitive patterns, so to speak. So we'll take a look at this train in a minute here. We'll actually run it, see how it feels physics-wise, and then, of course, sound-wise as well. So we'll start with the old mating snakes, or the Sin Petrel, everyone's favorite. Again, these look very nice. They're in green. You've got some station wagons down on the bottom. The Griswold Mobile, and these old, what are these, like F600s? These old Fords. These look very nice. They've even got dealer freaking tickets in the windshield. That is badass. That's very cool. I like that. Nice little details. Look at the chassis back there. You can see the exhaust, the friggin' axle, the prop shaft. This is cool, man. Even those tires. Those look like old truck tires. For sure. So they're mixed up. All kinds of different stuff. You got this one, which is just fully trucks. So I think I did half. This one here is half. And then this one is full. So, of course, these are bi-levels as well. Now, the EL we were looking at were tri-levels. But I've got the bi-levels kind of cordoned off over here by themselves. Next up is the Northern Pacific Railway. Again, the logos look very nice as far as I can tell. This is the bi-level. There's a lot of damn space. You know, they figured out, hey, we could probably put another row of cars on here. So this one's the bi. This is the half loaded, I believe. Got some variation in here. This one is the loaded, which has just got a bunch of the old F-Series Fords, which look pretty darn cool. Pretty darn cool. We'll head over to this here. Frisco! And these, oh mama, this F-150, man. So this is this would definitely be like the 80s here. This truck style. That's definitely a Ford. That thing looks almost completely perfect. I mean, of course, it's missing the badge for legality purposes and all that stuff. I don't know if the wheels would have been like that from the factory, but they look pretty good. Got a little dish in there. Trucks look good with a little dish on the wheels. F-150, probably a long bed. Yeah, it does look like a long bed, short cab, but damn, those look really nice. Really, really nice. So that's the half. These are the full. You've got a variation of colors. God, dog, those look good. Those look real good, man. And even if you don't want the racks, you could just buy, or I'm sorry, not buy, you can download for free the car pack itself if you want to set up like a scene in your editor or whatnot. So these are all the bi-levels. It's going to be Penn Central, NorPac, or Northern Pacific, and Frisco. And then we'll go ahead and scooch on back here to the tries. We'll start right here. We've got Norfolk and Western, which, of course, a lot of these are really nice because we've got a lot of decent engines that have come out over the years in the game that we can actually use and run with road-specific trains, which is pretty tight. All right, so Norfolk and Western, again, the logo looks really darn good. I'm not sure what cars these are. They kind of look like an old Camaro, maybe. Yeah, let's look at the back. Yeah, I think that's one of the base model Camaros. Anyway, this is the half loaded. There's nothing on top. So as far as performance-wise, and they have recommended specs on the website, by the way, which you should take a look at if you intend on purchasing this. But it's honestly not that bad. You know, since they've updated the pack and the revised second release that they recently did. Oh yeah, these are Camaros because this is a Z28 right here. That is sick. Okay, yeah. So it says Z28 on there. So we've got regular base model Camaros, the wire hubcaps, and then the actual alloy wheel Z28 with the stripes and everything all mixed in there. That's sick. That looks awesome. All right, so those are red as well. These are black, same Norfolk and Western still. These are loaded. You've got cars everywhere. And then these, I believe, are fully loaded. So they are elephant walked like a mofo, nose to tail. Fully loaded. Ooh, that's a nice Camaro right there. The colors look really good on these as well, you know. They pop. They're not too crazy, they're not too bland, but they pop. So you can tell there's a lot more space in what they consider loaded. You probably got what's that, about 8 feet? Nah, probably more like 6 feet in between each car. And in these, this is the fully loaded variant, which is just super close. And of course, they would have had these chained down back in the day, had the frames or the chassis themselves chained down. So that's Norfolk and Western. You got your 3 variations. We'll hop on over here to the Frisco. So we got some more Frisco over here. These are the half loaded, which of course have Corvettes, which again look faithful to that that year model or C designation. I mean, even the wheels are perfect. They've got the turn down tubes on the back. That's cool as hell. Those look really good, man. For a train sim, like just a car for scenery, looks really damn good. So Frisco half loaded, bunch of different colors on there. This is the loaded. They're spaced out. And then we've got the fully loaded, which is packed house, obviously. We'll go on over to the next. I think it's Canadian Pacific, the old school CP scriptage. Yes, here we have CP again. The logo looks very nice. These are all in black, I think. Some of them are varied colors. This is the half loaded again, so there's nothing on top. Got some more Clark Griswold mobiles. What's that? This might be is that a Buick? Some of these I honestly don't know. It's kind of vague, and of course they can't have the decals on there. But you've got some mixed variation, which is cool. This is the loaded. Or is that a Riviera? Yeah, is that a Riviera? I think it's Buick Riviera, maybe. And then this is the fully loaded, so it's packed out, packed house. And then we'll go over here, I think, which is CN, Canadian National. Again, half loaded. Same deal all throughout. There's our fully. And some of these don't have fully. Sorry, this is the regular, not fully. Some of these don't have fully loaded. Some of them do. It's just how they look in the editor. You're going to have to play around and see how it looks in there and place them down yourself. Play around with it. See how their performance goes, etc. So we got old Uncle Pete over here again with maybe some. Jeez, is that Bonneville? I don't know what it is. Riviera, Bonneville, something like that. Anyway, this is half. This is full. And so those are only half and full, I reckon. And then we got Santa Fe all the way with some. That's got to be a Bel Air. That's like a 57 Chevy, something like that, late 50s. The little details, man. And the headlight bezels and the bumpers. Dude, those look really good. Really good. All right, Santa Fe, of course, the logo looks very nice. That's your half loaded. Here is your loaded all the way. And then your fully loaded. Oh, these have the shock control deal on the back as well, which was their thing. They put that on. They put that logo on everything. They put it on box cars, etc. Back in the day. We'll go over here. This is the Rock or Rock Island. This is a Nova. This has got to be a Nova. Yeah. So it even says Chevy 2 on there. SS. Badass. Yeah, that's one of the smaller Novas. SS on the hubcaps. Man, these are some sharp little models. I'm a bit of a car lover and a car nerd, so this is the half. We'll go back here. This is the full, and then this is the fully loaded. And then we'll go to the last, which I'm pretty sure is the last, but certainly not least, another Sin Pentrol in green. So these are the halves. Back here is the loaded. And then back here is the fully loaded. All right, so that is everything you're going to get, though, barring I did leave out a bunch of the empties. But you're going to get a lot in this pack. And for $10, I mean, the car models and the racks themselves so far look really, really damn good model-wise. They've even got the little planks so they would connect them. So it'd be one plank on one end like that, and then facing the other way, it'd be on the other end. So you could connect them together. Car must not be moved with Afruits doors. What is Afruits doors? Am I missing something there? Afruits doors. All right, let's go get in that train back there, see how they look in motion, feel, sound, all that good stuff. All right, we are in Diesel Workshops, one of their Century series. Of course, the Erie Lackawanna, which is a 3-pack. It comes with a weather version, which I'm using here of this unit, a clean version, and then a black and gold version. So I've got 10 loaded and fully loaded cars here. So let's see how it feels first and foremost. Go ahead and hop in here. And I turn the wipers on like a ding dong. Let's get those back off. Let's throw that bell on. We got our forwards. There we go. Loco brake fully applied. We'll dump the auto, or wipe it. Wipe, dump. Give her one nooch. Start wiping that Indy. We'll do dog style outside. Stick our head out here. So that's one notch so far. They feel pretty darn good, especially with Diesel Workshops offering here, which I'm using. Slowly moving. They feel weighted. They feel like they've got some weight. Let's give it another notch. Another. 10 cars. Again, I'm not sure how much they weigh. The pack does come with a little manual I'm looking at on my second screen here, and I don't see anything about it. Yeah, so not terribly sure how much they weigh. I can hear the sounds though, or their sounds that they added, their custom sounds for these packs, or this pack, these racks, this pack. Give it another notch. We'll go to the back. Yeah, they sound good. They have some nice thunky, tinny sound to them. They sound a little light. They kind of sound like they would be empty, maybe empties, no loads. But all things considered, you know, from all the railcar sounds that we've gotten for North American stuff over the years, and it's generally been the same crappy sounds that are like 5,000 years old. I'll take these any day. Absolutely. So these are pretty good. A little flange squeal would be good. I'm not crazy about it. You know, I know it's a thing, but in the game, I'm not super crazy about a high level flange squeal. But you know, a little scraping, scratching, screeching would be nice. But yeah, these sound good. Let's go ahead and do a little quick run by here. All right, so they're coming around the bend into the yard back on the main line down here. Give it a couple notches. This is actually uphill right here. Down into the forward plan is the direction we're currently facing here. You can kind of see that weird texture thing on the axle. It almost has like a strobing effect. Not super noticeable. Unless you're really looking. Give it another notch. And we're of course going to check these things out at speed too. See if there's any kind of variation at all. You know, see how it feels weighted. See what the sounds are like. If there's any kind of different sound. Because I haven't really messed with these higher than about 15 mile an hour, I think. All right, so let's get them back there. Let's get lined and locked out onto the main line, and we'll get to speed. Be right back. All right, we should be lined out of the yard. Let's go ahead and goose it a little bit. Yeah, these things feel nicely weighted. So they've only got 10 cars here again. These engines don't feel terribly overpowered, which is also good. Plus, I've only got one unit. Give it another. Another. Man, them things look good. Even the chains. The little pin and locking bits and bobs and mechanisms. Hell, even the lettering, like the font style of that lettering back then, they got pretty on point. That looks really, really nice. Alright, we are not going to follow the laws and speeds and rules of the road. This is for scientific purposes. So we will be speeding and operating like a dipshit. Another notch. Go ahead and check if there's any kind of variation in sound here. Let's go to like a middle car, shall we? So it sounds like some of them almost emit no sound at all. Give it another notch. Going through suffering. Another notch. And we'll go ahead and do a run by at speed. Yeah, they sound pretty good. I don't know if the sound actually changes speed-wise, but the sounds themselves are very good. I just think the volume of them could have been tweaked upwards a little bit, give them a little more, depth. All right, let's go ahead and check out the braking and see what it feels like and sounds like here. Feels pretty decent. I probably grabbed maybe about 15 pounds. A little bit more. They have that weird, like, trippy space effect sounds. Nice. I like the brake squeal coming to a stop. That sounds pretty damn good itself. So that's I think that's gonna do it, guys. That's about all I can think of to look at this auto open rack pack buy and try level, now available by Machine Rail for a scant $10. I have no problem dishing out $10 for content like this any day of the week. I'll link everything down below, from the racks themselves to the root and even these engines, just for those unawares. But that is it, guys. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.